Money management is the holy grail. Okay, I know you've been looking for a strategy that will help you to grow your account and take your account to, I don't know, from you want to take your small deposit of, let's say, $50, you want to take it to $1,000 or whatever. I'm here to tell you guys that money management is actually the holy grail, not strategy. Strategy is quite important, but there is only one use of a strategy. What is the use of a strategy? Strategy just ensures that long term your account will grow. Okay, so if you're trying to take, because I'm sure you've been seeing a lot of I don't know, will I call them YouTube influencers? Those influencers on YouTube whereby they take $50 to um maybe $2,000. And when you read the comment section, what do you think people ask those people, those mentors? Okay, they keep asking, which strategy did you use? Which strategy are you using? Which strategy did you use to grow the account? But the truth is, the difference between you and that your mentor is what? Money management. Okay, he the YouTube influencer is highly risk. He has a high risk appetite. Okay, so he takes more risk more than you, and that is the only difference. So what you should be asking those people is, what risk management did you use? Okay, how much were you risking per trade? That is the right question to ask. Whenever you see someone who takes, I don't know, maybe $10 to $1,000, and you are quite shocked, right? You think there's a special strategy that does this. No, there's no any special strategy. It's their ability to risk big. Okay, it's not. There's no special strategy that will help you to achieve such a feat. All right, and I know you've been looking for the holy grail. There's only one thing that strategy does for you, and that is ensure that long term, after you take a lot of trades, let's say 50 trades, let's say you take 50 trades. Okay, after 50 trades, your equity curve will look like this. Okay, your equity curve will be rising. This is what strategy does for you. Well, how much you are going to make, okay, depends on how much you put to risk per trade. Okay, so let's say this represents each trade that you take. Each trade, this all these things represent each trade that you take, right? The amount you risk per trade will determine how much you are going to make in the end. So this move from down here to all the way up there could be $10. Okay, it could be $10. Okay, the growth of your account, you might end up from $50 in 2 months. You end up making $10 profit. Okay, depending on how much you were risking per trade. So if you're risking $1 per trade, you might end up with $10 after 1 month or 2 months. Okay, but this is different from someone who risks $10 per trade. So if you are risking $10 per trade, it will not be this $10 anymore. You will not make a profit of $10 anymore. At the end of the day, you might discover that instead of this $10, you end up making, let's say, $300. Okay, so it depends on your risk appetite, not the strategy that you were using. There's nothing special about a strategy. Strategy just ensures that if you take many trades, your account will grow. But how much the account is going to grow depends on how much you risk per trade, which is risk management. Okay, so if you're trying to grow your account fast, right? If you're trying to grow your account fast, you're not interested in taking $50 to $70. You're not interested in all those small gains. You want to make a buck, right? You have to risk more. Okay, you have to look into how you are going to be putting more money to risk. Okay, because the more money you put to risk, the more money you are going to make in the end. Okay, so there are two ways to increase your risk, which number one is you increase your capital. If you know someone who has $150 capital will not trade the same way as someone who has $5,000 capital. Okay, so you can increase your capital if you want to risk more per trade, more money per trade, or you can increase your risk. Okay, which if you put two people in the same room, let's say two people, they start trading. You put two people in the same room and they start trading. and you know, let's say you give them $100 each. Okay, both of them $100. You give them 2 months to trade, right? You give one of them risks 1% per trade, the other one risks 10% per trade. Okay, after 2 months, you will discover that this guy who was risking 1% per trade ends up with $150 in his account after 2 months. This guy who was risking $100 on the other hand would end up with around $3,000. Okay, 10% per trade. So you see the difference between $150 and $3,000 is really huge, just because of the different risk management that they were applying. Okay, so what differentiates two people is money management. It's not a strategy. Okay, so I know some of you guys already have strategies that can take $100 to 150 in 2 months. I know you can create such a strategy, but you are not satisfied because you want to make more. Okay, what you should be looking at, asking yourself is how much are you risking per trade? That is what you should be asking yourself. That is what differentiates you from those YouTube influencers who keep showing you guys um, a lot of profits, right? They are showing you, they are flashing it to you, they are showing you they took $100 to $10,000, and they are showing you, they are scrolling down and showing you everything. Okay, the truth is they were risking a lot per trade. That is the truth. There's no secret holy grail strategy there. Okay, you cannot get a secret holy grail strategy. The difference between these two people is not strategy. It's not going to be strategy. Okay, even if this guy had a better strategy than this guy, the difference will be very small, because strategies don't give you such huge edge that that's going to be so special. There's nothing special about a strategy. Strategy just ensures that long term you are going to make money. That is all strategy does. Okay, the amount you are going to make depends on how much you were risking. That more money that you're going to make might be $1, it might be $10, it might be $10,000, depending on how much you were risking per trade, which is money management. Okay, so why do I say that money management is the holy grail? Number one, no strategy is going to work without money management. Okay, let me show you guys what strategy does for you. Okay, when you have a profitable strategy. Okay, if you take two people, because I always like comparing with normal life scenarios. If you take two people, all right, two students, okay, who start school they start their school at the same time, okay, in the same class, the same department and everything. All right, student A studies 30 minutes every day more than student B, and he keeps up with it every day. Okay, more than this guy also studies, but this guy does 30 minutes more than student B. This is student A, this is student B. Okay, now this guy has an edge over this guy. Okay, student A has a small edge over this guy. This is exactly what trading strategy looks like. The edges are very small. Okay, the edge it gives you will be very small, but it compounds over time. Okay, so after, let's say, 1 month, after 30 days, you might not be able to notice the difference between A and B. You might not notice the difference between these two guys after 30 days. Okay, even though this guy still reads 30 minutes more than this guy. But after 6 months, you start noticing little difference, okay, between this guy and this guy. Okay, after a year, 2 years, the difference will be clear, because this guy has studied every day for 30 minutes. If you are going to average it in a year, he studies I think 150 hours more than this guy in a year. So after 1 year, after 1 year, 2 years, the difference will be clear. So because after 2 years, you discover that he has studied 365 hours more than student B. So 365 hours is a lot. So you are going to notice that difference. Okay, so this is exactly what a strategy does for you, right? If you take a strategy that has no edge and the one that has an edge, you will not notice the difference short term. So after a few trades, after 30 trades, after 20 something trades, after 10, 20 trades, you might not notice the difference between who has a strategy and who does not have a strategy. But after many trades, after 50, 100 trades, you will start seeing that, oh, this guy has an edge over this strategy has an edge, the other one does not have an edge. This is all the strategy does for you. Just make sure that long term you are going to make money. This is all. It doesn't guarantee, it doesn't tell you how much you are going to make long term. The amount you are going to make long term depends on how much you put to risk per trade. Okay, so if you want to make more money, be asking yourself, how much am I going to risk per trade? That's what you should be asking yourself, not which strategy am I going to trade. There's nothing special about the strategy. Okay, and a lot of people fall into the trap because all these mentors, they cannot sell you risk management course, so they have to tell you that, um, my $100 a day strategy. There's nothing like $100 a day strategy. Okay, what causes you to make $100 a day is because of the way you are managing your risk, how much you are putting to risk per trade. What if you are risking $1 per trade? Will you still say you made $100 a day? Okay, so you can see that money management is actually the holy grail. No strategy will work without money management. Why will no strategy work without? There are thousands of strategies out there that work. Okay, but none of them will work without money management. Why is that? The reason is because strategy only works long term, like I already explained just now. Okay, you have to take many trades before you see the effect of the strategy. So in the short term, what will protect you in the short term is money management. Okay, so after those 20 trades, it's still random at that point. If you take 20 trades, you can have 10 losses in a row, even though you have an edge. Okay, so what is going to protect you during that short term is what? Money management. Okay, so money management is what will ensure that every strategy that has an edge will work. But if you have an edge and you implement the wrong money management, you are still going to lose money. So do you see why money management is more important than strategy? It's more important than strategy. Okay, so once you understand money management and you've solved your psychological issues, okay, you're already 90% there. Once you resolve all the psychological problems, you're already 90% there to become a profitable trader. Okay, the strategy is quite easy. You can go online there, someone gives you a strategy, you can call some of your friends that know are profitable traders, they give you a strategy that works. Okay, but if you don't implement correct money management and you are not psychologically stable, you will not be able to trade such strategies. Okay, there's nothing special about strategy. It just ensures that, hey, look, you are going to make money long term. This is all strategy does for you. And people think, if I want to make more money, I need this holy grail strategy. No, there's no holy grail strategy anywhere. There's no holy grail. Strategy only just simple things, it just follows the market. If you have a market that is always trending and you apply a trend following strategy to it, it will work. But if the market is a range bound market and you are applying a trend following strategy to it, it will not work. Okay, so there's no holy grail strategy anywhere. Strategy does not move the market. Okay, the strategy is just understanding how the market moves and you apply the right strategy to it, to that market. So if it's a market that trends a lot, you apply a trend strategy to it, it works. If it's a ranging market, you apply a ranging strategy to it, it works. Okay, if it's a market that always pulls back, okay, whenever it's trending, you apply a counter trend trading strategy to it, it works as well. All right, so there's nothing special about the strategy, guys. Okay, money management is the key. All right, so I think I'm sure I've convinced you that, guys, that to understand now the importance of money management, because I see a lot of people, they go and you go online, they're asking themselves, which strategy is going to make me this money? Which strategy? No, it's money management. You just need a simple strategy that will ensure that you are going to grow your account long term. And when you have that strategy, then you need to ask yourself, how much am I willing to risk per trade as I'm trading the strategy? Then you need to give yourself time as well. Another thing that people ignore is time. Okay, growing your account takes time. If you are one of the people who you want to grow your account within a day, you want to take $10 to $1,000 within a day. Okay, it's going to be hard, right? It's going to be very challenging. It's going to take a very long time to realize that this is not a realistic way of looking at it. Okay, you still need time as well. Okay, so you need three things to make money in the market. Number one, you need time. Okay, patience, time, and consistency. Okay, you are consistency in your action every day. Number two, you need a strategy that works. Okay, then you need strong money management. You need a good money management approach. After if you have these three things, there's nothing that's going to stop you from making money from the market. Okay, so yeah, so that is it, guys. Do have a great one.